Okay, let's come into a seated position and we're going to tune in and hopefully everybody else will jump on. So eyes closed, rub your hands together, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Hold the breath, pull the Mula Bandha, look up at the third eye, the point between the brow. Ad Gurudame, Chugat Gurudame, Sat Gurudame, Siddhi Gurudeve Namain. Ad Gurudame, Chugat Gurudame, Sat Gurudame, Siddhi Gurudeve Namain. Ad Gurudame, Chugat Gurudame, Sat Gurudame, Siddhi Gurudeve Namain. Hold the breath, pull the Mula Bandha, rectum, sex organs, navel, look up towards that third eye, and exhale. Okay, we're gonna come into cat-cow. So come on to all fours, and give me 1 second. We're gonna inhale up, exhale down. I need my clock so I can see what we're doing. Okay, so we're in cat-cow, we're on all fours. Inhale up, exhale, chin to chest. Inhale up, exhale, chin to chest. So keep going. We're doing 3 minutes of cat-cow, and I'm going to explain to you why I love doing yoga and what we're going to be doing today. So the reason why I like to do yoga is because it activates the pineal gland. So that's mainly why I do the yoga, is to activate my pineal gland and have trippy experiences, go into transcendental states, go into altered states of consciousness, and activate my ability to see past the physical realm of time and space. And this is scientifically proven. So the pineal gland, so we're doing cat-cow, keep listening. So the pineal gland is located in the head, and it's a gland that produces hormone. And so it's located in the brain, and it produces hormones. And so it's located at the back of the throat, at the back of the head. So it's like inside your brain, located at the back of the throat. So this is important to know, because when you place your attention somewhere, then energy goes to that area, and that's how we activate it. And we're going to be activating it tonight. So the pineal gland is associated with the third eye. And when it's activated, it gives us profound inner vision. So this is sight, not using our physical senses, but using our intuition. Some can call it that, or the third eye. And so the pineal gland, what it contains are these piezoelectrical crystals, which pretty much just means is that it has an electromagnetic field around it. It's able to create an electromagnetic field, this gland, because it has these piezoelectrical crystals. And when it's stimulated, it creates an electrical charge in the body. And so the way we stimulate this pineal gland to get these electrical charges in the brain is by having the cerebral spinal fluid it goes up into the brain and it activates it. And so how do we do that? It's just inhaling and exhaling. So everything that I'm talking about right now is happening when we do the yoga. And none of this maybe matters, but maybe it does. And so the explanation of it will help you activate it tonight. So we're keep doing cat-cow. And so when we inhale and we exhale, this pushes the cerebral spinal fluid up into the brain. And that's that mechanical stimulation that starts to activate this electrical charge. And so we've done this in the past couple of months where we were creating a tortial field around the body. It just looks like a donut, but we were doing it with our heart chakra. And so when we activate that pineal gland, we're actually creating that tortial field around our body, but it's coming from the pineal gland. And so this is creating that electromagnetic field. And so when we create this mechanical stimulation by inhaling, holding the breath, and when we hold the breath, it pushes cerebral spinal fluid up into the brain, and that creates this pressure on the pineal gland, and it activates its electromagnetic field. And so when we activate it, it also starts to release chemicals in the brain. And these chemicals activate super conscious brain waves. So we have different brain waves in our body. And when the pineal gland is activated, we have these super conscious brain waves. And so we start to feel these feelings of ecstasy and bliss. And it feels amazing when we do this. And this is the release of that Kundalini energy. So that's what we talk about when we talk about Kundalini. It is getting that cerebral spinal fluid to shoot up the spine. So it's not just energetically shooting up the spine, we're physically shooting the spinal fluid up the spine to the top of the head, to the pineal gland. It's creating this pressure on the pineal gland, which is creating this electromagnetic field in your body. And that electromagnetic field is what's helping you tune into the divine, tune into the realm that we cannot see and hear with our senses. But so when this is activated, you may feel bliss, you may feel amazing, you may feel light, you may see light, you may see lights behind your eyes, trippy scenes in your mind, like colors. And sometimes I see colors and I see these patterns, and I see this light coming in from the left side. I don't know what it is, but it's this bright, bright light. And I know that I got there when I start to feel the light and sense it, and the space feels so much more spacious. And so these are all just things you may experience, or you just may feel really calm and bliss. And so that's what we're doing tonight. We're activating the pineal gland. So let's come into a seated position. So if that was like, what are you talking about? The main point is to know that I love the Kundalini yoga because it really focuses on the Bhandas, the locks. So we're bringing in the navel, rectum, and sex organs, and it's pushing the cerebral spinal fluid up into the brain, which is activating the pineal gland. So we can have trippy experiences. Okay, so we're going to do that tonight. So we're going to start with ego eradicator. So we're going to do some breath of fire. Arms are out 60 degrees, and we are breathing in and out of our nose, and our fingertips are on the pads of the palms right here. So they're up on the pads of the palms. Thumbs are facing out, our eyes are closed, and we're doing breath of fire. So we're inhaling and exhaling rhythmically through the nose. Give me a second. Let's add this person, and then we'll do this together. Okay, so arms out 60 degrees. Inhale and exhale, close the eyes. Inhale, touch the thumbs together overhead, hold the breath. Exhale, hold the breath, apply the Mula Bandha, sex organs, rectum, navel. Inhale and relax. Okay, so we're going to do the spine flex. So we're going to bring our hands to our calves and not our calves, our shins. And we're going to inhale, flex the spine forward, lifting the chest, and then exhale, flex the spine back. And we're going to keep the shoulders relaxed and the head straight. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So keep going. So tonight we're going to work on the pineal gland for everybody that missed what we were just talking about. So we're activating the pineal gland, which is located in your brain, and it's located at the back of the throat, in the back of the head. And it's important to know that because we're bringing awareness to this pineal gland, which is going to help us activate it. And so the way we activate it is we are doing the locks, the Mula Bandha. So we're pulling the sex organs, rectum, navel. That's shooting cerebral spinal fluid up to the top of the head. That cerebral spinal fluid, it pushes on that pineal gland and it creates an electromagnetic field. And a couple months ago, we were working on the heart chakra and we're working on the tordial field, that donut shape around our body. Well, that's what the pineal gland creates. When you get that pressure on it, it creates a tordial field. All that means is creating an electromagnetic field. When you create that electromagnetic field, that stimulates it to start to release chemicals. It can make you feel blissful. It can make you feel ecstatic. You may see lights. You may see colors. You may get messages. This is what our third eye is associated with, is that pineal gland. And this is what's called the Kundalini rising. So we're working on that tonight. So we're going to inhale one more time. Inhale, exhale, and relax. So, and this is why I love the Kundalini yoga, because it activates that pineal gland and you can have trippy experiences and you can activate your psychic abilities and you can get messages and you feel amazing. So let's do it. Okay, hands on the shoulders. We're going to do a spinal twist. So this stimulates and stretches the lower spine, and we're going to, the thumbs are on the back and the fingers are in the front. The elbows are high. We're keeping them parallel to the ground, and we're going to inhale left, exhale right. One more inhale, exhale left, and then come forward, exhale and relax. And also, you don't have to know any of this information. You can just do the yoga and not think about it. And you're going to have these trippy experiences. But I learned the explanation of this, and I felt like it was just a culmination of everything that we were doing last year. And I was like, oh my God, there's like science behind all this, which is like, I knew that there was science for yoga, but it was just like explained. And I was like, that's what we've been doing this whole time. We're activating the pineal gland. We're creating this tortial field. We're creating this electromagnetic field around our bodies. And also when we do this, there's studies been shown that it reduces crime, it reduces violence, it reduces, it just, like so many things happen, not just to you and your body and your electromagnetic field, but you're affecting your electromagnetic field of the people around you and your community. It's amazing. Okay, so we're doing front life nerve stretch. So our feet are stretched out in front of us and we are grabbing our toes, and the index finger and the middle finger are pulling on the toes. So we're pressing our thumb into the nail of the toe, and we are just going to stay here for some deep, long breaths. So stay here for a couple breaths. So make sure you're really activating your breath here. So inhale, breathe in deep, exhale. We're using those yogic breaths. So we're inhaling, pushing the belly out, exhaling, pushing the belly in. Keep breathing. Really strong, powerful breaths. Posture actually has us inhaling and exhaling down powerfully, but we're just going to do this. So as we're breathing here, let's go ahead and think about our pineal gland. It's located behind the throat in the brain, kind of looks like an eye. And when we think about it, we're putting our energy there. When we put our energy there, we're activating it. So that way we can do our mulaband, our locks, and bring that cerebral spinal fluid up into the brain and activate that pineal gland. And then slowly come up to the top. And we're going to do a twist. So we're going to bring our right foot over our left knee and bring our right hand behind us. Sit up really tall. Bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale. Exhale and twist to the right. And then come back to center, release that right foot. And let's do that on the other side. Let's bring the left foot over and bring your hand behind you. Sit up really tall, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. So all this information is from Joe Dispenza. He's a doctor and he's amazing. And I also learned from him that when we get our bodies into that coherent state. I don't know if you remember how we were doing that heart meditation for a couple of weeks, where we're getting our heart into a coherent state. So when your heart and brain, pretty much the same thing at the time, is getting into that coherent state, we're actually able to heal ourselves. So you're welcome. You were healing yourself while you were in that coherent state. And so just, you don't even have to know any of this information. Just doing the yoga does it. But I think it's interesting to know that what we're doing is very powerful to heal our bodies, to heal our minds, to activate our psychic gifts, to have a experience that is not of this realm, to be able to activate the realms that you can't see and or hear, but that do exist. And so that's awesome. Because I know that I have some trippy experiences when we do the yoga. I'm like, what is going on? So it works for me. I don't know. And I'm over here by myself. So, but we're all connected. So I know that we're activating each other's electromagnetic field. So I know you're feeling it too. So let's come back to center. Okay, let's come into so we're gonna bring our feet out like this. Okay, and we are going to spread the legs as wide as we can, and we're grasping the toes in front, and we're going to pull back on the toes. Same thing, the thumbs are pressing into the toes. So take some deep breaths here. We're supposed to be doing some breath of fire, but we're gonna just breathe powerfully. Make sure you're really activating your breath. I want you to be able to hear it. Inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. And then come up, we're going to bring the right foot out, bring the left foot in. And we're going to come into our extended side stretch. So inhale, reach up really tall. Exhale, come over to the right, flex that right knee, and then feel the stretch all down the left side of the body. You found that your left shoulder is starting to collapse. Open up that left shoulder. And then really feel the stretch all down the left side. You're gonna feel it in the right thigh as well. Take some deep breaths here. Back up to center, big circle with the arms. Let's do head to knee pose on the right. Inhale, reach up really tall, face that right knee, come forward. So keep breathing. Somewhere in our brain, we have different brain waves. And so, for example, when you're watching TV, you get into the alpha brain wave. It's like you're kind of hypnotized and you're kind of spaced out, but you're still aware. And then when you're asleep, you go into the lower ones, the delta brain waves. And so each brain wave has a different behavior, I guess you could say. And so when we activate the pineal gland, this activates the gamma brain waves, and these are associated with the superconsciousness. And so that's how, by activating the pineal gland, we can activate our psychic abilities, which I think everyone has, which is just our intuition. Maybe that would look like you are getting messages when you're doing your meditations, or you see something, a vision, or you hear a word, or you see a word, or you just know something. All of these things can be considered psychic abilities or intuition. And so let's come back to the center, big circle with the arms. And so when we activate the pineal gland, we're activating those brain waves, which also activates your ability to tap into these abilities that everybody has. So let's inhale, reach up really tall. Flex your left foot. Exhale, come over to the left. So feel the stretch all down the right side. So if you feel like that right shoulder is starting to collapse, see if you could open that right shoulder up. Feel the stretch down the right side a little bit deeper. Then come back to center, big circle with the arms. And let's come into head to knee pose on the other side. So inhale, reach up really tall. Stay here for a second and really reach up. Don't just fake it in. Reach up, do your neck lock, the Jalandhar. You're just bringing your neck back. That's also locking your neck. It's bringing that cerebral spinal fluid up closer to your pineal gland. So we're not doing the bottom lock right now, but this one's really important too. And so stretch up really tall. And then come over to the left. So feel the stretch. Oh, wait, sorry. No, stretch up really tall and then face the left knee and come down. Head to knee pose. So really make sure you're breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Powerful breath. You want to hear your own breath. Keep breathing, keep stretching. So I went outside my practice and I tried something else. I tried a different meditation. And let me tell you, I feel like Kundalini yoga is the best bang for your buck. And I'll tell you why, because out of all of the yogas, this yoga really incorporates the locks well. Not saying that the other yogas don't, but in Kundalini yoga, they really focus on those locks. And they also focus a lot on the breath work. And I don't know, this yoga, I feel like it's just really good at incorporating the breath work, which gets the life force energy in your body, and the locks, which is what gets that cerebral spinal fluid up the spine. And this is what activates your pineal gland. And this is just everyone always has the fastest. I have the fastest way to get to whatever you're doing, your meditation, to get you into these relaxed states. And so, right, everyone has the fastest one, and even Kundalini, this is the fastest one. So, but honestly, everything that I've tried, I feel like this is the most effective. And I have just feel like I've had the most, experiences with this yoga, and I think it's the best. And I went outside and I tried something new, and I feel like this is the best way to heal yourself. This is the best way to relax yourself. This is the best way to get into that coherent state. And so this is the best way. This is the fastest way. Okay, and then come back to center, and then big circle with the arms. But then again, it's everybody, whatever works best for you. Okay, let's come into cobbler pose. So feet together, inhale, sit up really tall, and then exhale, come forward. So if it doesn't resonate with you, then don't do it. But I feel like this is what is the most effective and the fastest to get that Kundalini up to the spine. So that way we can have trippy psychedelic experiences. Is that so much to ask for? Okay, and then come back to center, and then let's come into a seated position, and let's do our addiction meditation. So thumbs are gently resting on the temples, eyes closed down. We are saying sa, ta, na, ma, while we're gently clenching the back molars, eyes closed. Okay, so the pressure exerted by the thumbs triggers a rhythmic reflex current into the central brain. So this is pretty much also activating the pineal gland. I'm assuming by putting pressure on it because we're clenching the jaw. And so that's why he means a reflex current to the brain, which is that electrical current. This current activates the brain directly underneath the stem of the pineal gland. And he says that this is an imbalance. It's an imbalance in this area that makes mental and physical addiction seem unbreakable. So this is also activating the pineal gland. And he says that imbalance of this pineal gland, of this pineal area, it upsets the radiance of the pineal gland itself, which we know that it has those piezoelectric crystals inside of it, which are associated with light. So imbalances, literally, it dims the light in about capabilities in your pineal gland. So the more light, the more electromagnetic field, the greater the electromagnetic field you can create, the trippier trip you can have. focusing at the brow point. Make sure you have that neck lock, the jaw underbund. So just bring the chin back, lock that neck, bring the energy up to that third eye, to the pineal gland. And then inhale. Hold the breath, pull the mula bandha, sex organs, rectum, navel. Get the jaw underbund, your neck lock in there. Imagine that cerebral spinal fluid going all the way up to the top of the head. And exhale. Okay, let's do ego eradicator again because it was so much fun. So breath of fire is super important. We want to get that prana, that life force energy into our body. And so fingers on the pads of the palms and elbows by the sides. And we are doing 60 degrees for our arms. And our fingertips are up on the pads of the palms, eyes closed. Make sure you have that. Okay, wait, arms down for a second. Let's do the neck lock. Just take a second and bring your chin back. That's all you're doing is you're putting your chin back and aligning your spine. So we're always sitting up really tall. We've got that down, but make sure your chin is slightly tucked back. You create like a double chin because if your chin is out here like this, you just want to align the spine so that way the energy can flow up. So we want to make sure we've got that down, and we're doing ego eradicator. So you just take a second and play with that. So if you're like, what is she talking about? That's our neck lock. So sitting in easy pose, arms up, let's start. Inhale, hold the breath, touch the thumb tips together, overhead, exhale, pull the mula bandha, sex organs, rectum, navel. Inhale, and relax, exhale. Keep touching the fingers to the mat. And I don't know what's happening with the speakers. and I hope you guys can hear me. It says it was using the backup speakers, so if you can't hear me, let me know. We're touching our fingers to the mat, and we're just raising so much energy. I'm breaking the computer. Don't say that because the class is almost over. Please don't break. Okay. So from here, let's come into our backs, and we're going to come into bridge pose. So come all the way down. Let's bring our knees into our chest, and we're going to bring our feet to the mat and bring our hands down, and then we're going to inhale, lift our hips up. So take some deep breaths here. And then come down one vertebra at a time. Bring your knees into our chest. Let's rock and roll up into a seated position. Okay, and then we're going to come onto our knees, and we're going to do Kriya. So we're going to do Kriya. We're going to bring the navel into the spine. So we're pumping the navel. At the end, we're going to pull the Mula Bandha, and we're going to imagine that fluid shooting from the bottom of the spine up to the top of the head, and it's going over the head, and it's going to the back of the throat and activating your pineal gland. And so we're going to set Kriya, and we're going to do our fingers like this. Our index fingers are touching, and then we're going to, the men are crossing the right thumb over the left, women are crossing the left thumb over the right. Interlace the fingers, and our fingers are, our hands are like this, and we're saying Sat Nam, and when we say Sat, we bring the navel in towards the spine. Sat Nam, 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 Sat Nam. So we're on the Sat, navel in towards the spine. Nam, we're letting it out. Sat Nam, 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 sit, 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 nam. Inhale. Hold the breath, squeeze the Mulabandha. Get the energy to raise from the bottom of the spine, the cerebral spinal fluid, up to the top of the head. Hold the breath. Look up at the third eye. Exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. Hold the breath. Pull the Mulabandha, sex organs, rectum, navel. Pull the Jalandhar bund. Look up towards that third eye. Bring the cerebral spinal fluid up to the top of the head. Raise the Kundalini up the spine. And exhale. Okay, let's come onto our backs. We're going to come into Shavasana, and we're going to let that energy radiate around the body. So palms face up towards the ceiling. Let the feet fall to each side. Just let that energy flow to where it needs to go. Take some deep breaths here in Shavasana. Just know that this deep relaxation allows you to enjoy and also consciously integrate these mind-body changes that we brought about during our practice of this Kriya. Relaxation allows us to sense the extension of the self through the magnetic field and allows the physical body to deeply relax. So see if you can connect with that electromagnetic field, your pineal gland, your third eye. Just relax. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Arm up over your head and come over onto your side. Slowly come up into a seated position. Eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale. Na. Sa. Na. Sat. Nam. Satnam.